Digital art. Digital art is something that a lot of artists prefer to do compared to traditional art. A lot of people prefer to draw on the computer using their own art software compared to like most artists who are used to drawing on paper using pencils and stuff. And I don't have a problem with it, but the only problem I have with digital artists is the fact that some people seem to be thinking that digital art is better than traditional art, and then you got some people who are quick to judge you just because you're not good at digital art, and they're used to seeing you like drawing the traditional way. And I'm here to talk about certain things that is very annoying in the art community revolving around digital art. So I'm gonna first start off with the people who seem to think just because you're not good at digital art, you shouldn't do it, and you should just stick to just drawing on regular paper just because you're not good at it. Now, this goes back many years ago when I was just starting off with drawing on a computer, digital art. I had got my first drawing tablet, and I was just so excited. I couldn't wait to draw digital art just like everybody else. But like a starting artist, you know, an artist that's just starting out with drawing digital art and not being used to it, I wasn't very good at drawing digital art just like everybody else right off the bat. I didn't know how to use layers. I didn't know how to use the line tool. And for the most part, I just didn't know how to use the digital art tools because I was new to creating digital art. I was not good at it. But I used to draw using art softwares. I used to draw on art softwares regardless. I had fun. I went to test things out, and I was just drawing like a bunch of random stuff because I was so excited and I just loved drawing. And that wasn't gonna stop me just because I was bad at drawing digitally. That wasn't gonna stop me. So, since people are so used to seeing me drawing on paper and stuff, I had like some people, well, a person tell me you should stick to drawing on paper because it looks much more better on paper and you're very bad at digital art. Like, I'm sorry, like, why do people feel the need that they gotta tell people what to do and how to do things, you know? And just basically put people down. I get that they don't like how the work look and the work don't look all that good, but don't tell nobody to give up just because you don't like how something looks, or the fact that their stuff isn't like, I'm guessing it's not as very impressive as everybody else's stuff. Don't do that, because you will never know when somebody would start taking the stuff seriously or start looking into stuff in order to better themselves. So I don't understand why people are always telling people they should give up stuff just because they might not be good at it in the beginning. Because if I were to stop doing digital art just because somebody told me that I wasn't good at it and that I shouldn't continue doing it and I should stick to the traditional art, I don't think I would ever be used to like drawing digitally and using digital art software because of that. I think if I was like easily influenced and like being like, I think if I were easily influenced and quick to follow people exactly following what they say, I think I would have quitted. I would have quitted a long time ago trying to do digital art because of what this person has said. But thank goodness I didn't, because I kept going and I did get used to the tools on certain digital software, and I did improve. It took a while, but I did improve. I know how to use layers now. I know how to use the line tool. I know how to basically I know how to do like a lot of things that most digital artists know how to do, but I'm not very good at shading. I'm not very good at making, my stuff pop out much more than other skilled digital artists. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, there's a lot of people in the digital art community who seem to think that if your stuff doesn't look as good as everybody else's, despite skill level and how long you've been doing digital art, that you should give up and just try to stick to drawing on paper. Basically, they're telling you that you should give up. You will never be good at it. So why would you keep going? Just go back to doing the same thing you were doing before. And that is not good advice right there. That's not good advice at all. Do not listen to people when they tell you to stop doing something. Don't listen to them, because you will never know. You will get better at things if you keep going, and if you really put your mind to it, and if you keep practicing, growth will come along the way. Another thing I've noticed about digital artists is the fact that people act like it's so much better than traditional art just because it's I'm guessing it's convenient to many people, and the certain techniques that they end up doing, like the shading and I'm guessing the different art techniques that they do on the computer. But at the end of the day, I never thought digital art was much more impressive than traditional art. The only reason why I like digital art, to do it more, is the fact that I can color my stuff easily when I'm doing digital art compared to doing traditional art, because I don't like coloring my drawings when I'm drawing on paper that much. I don't like coloring. I'm that type of person. But a lot of digital artists seem to think that traditional artists is not as good or appealing as digital art, which is a opinion, because I do both. I never thought that one was better than the other, because to me it's the same thing, but only you're drawing on a computer, and the other is you're using a pencil to draw on paper. So there's no difference. You just know how to do fancy techniques using different tools built in a drawing software. You can do that on paper with different type of material. It's the same thing basically. There's no difference. You're just doing it on a computer. And I guess the things, there is some different elements to drawing digital art as well, and it takes years of practice, just like it takes years of practice to learn how to draw. So I don't really think there is a lot of I don't even think there is a lot of differences when it comes to drawing on paper and drawing on the computer. There is not a lot of differences. There is, but then again, if I point out the differences, we'll be here forever on this video. Okay, so another thing I've noticed when it comes to people talking about digital artists is the fact that there is some people that seems to think that if you're very skilled at using the shading techniques, when it comes to doing digital art that it makes you like a very skilled artist, just because you know how to do different shading techniques and this and that, and it makes your work look very appealing, which is not a bad thing. But most of the time when y'all know how to do these techniques, it doesn't like, it falls flat due to the fact that a lot of people anatomy or like the model, y'all not using a lot of references. It goes back to that, like, even if you hide your stuff behind like different shading techniques, it doesn't mean that you're very impressive, because you still need to learn how to do certain type of artistic poses and stuff. And basically you still need to learn your fundamentals before you even think about learning how to shade. Y'all shouldn't even be worrying about shading very impressive if your stuff is not even like, you're not focusing on any other aspects when creating digital art. I think just people is too busy trying to make their stuff look quirky and use these certain types of shading techniques to make it seem like their work is gonna pop out even more. Your work pops out when you learn how to do different types of art techniques, like learning different poses, learning how to do different perspectives, learning how to do backgrounds, learning how to draw expressions and stuff. That's when your work becomes really dynamic most of the time, not because you know how to do certain shading techniques and doing like adding these extra details and trying to make trying to make your work look as quirky as you can. That's why I've noticed a lot of digital artists do. To compensate with not knowing how to do anatomy that good, or not knowing how to like do the fundamentals that good when it comes to doing art, they always just end up doing like very, very over the top shading on their work to make their work like pop out even more, even though it's not as impressive as they think it is. But I'm sure if you're working hard on an art piece that you think is good, even though that you're not very good at drawing, then that's fine. But over the top shading is not gonna make your work better just because you add these extra details to make your work seem more appealing to certain people. That's what I think. And the whole time learning how to do digital art, it seemed like something fun in the beginning, but as the years goes on, you still think and see yourself not like being on the same level as many other digital artists, due to the fact that you don't know how to use certain tools inside of the digital art software. You don't know how to use certain tools like all the other artists. You don't know how to do those different techniques. You don't know how to do that freaking line art stuff that everybody else does. You're still not familiar with doing all the other stuff that most digital artists already learned how to do. You're still behind, and you'll be forever trying to figure out how to get better as a digital artist, even though you've been drawing and using it for years. Not a lot of people are going to be good at doing digital art, even though you've been doing it for many years, because it is a journey and you have to learn many things in order to get better, and you still have to figure out how things work when starting off something. And it's not gonna be easy, but do not give up just because people tell you that you're not good at it. You gotta keep going and you gotta find something that works for you. But that's just me. That's what I think about digital art and the things that I've observed when it comes to being a digital artist. But let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video.